Hi world, this is a Frugal Millennial, and on this episode of We Love Wednesdays, I'm going to go through not one, but two suburb reviews. I had a request for Herdsman's Cove and Bridgewater, which both happen to be suburbs within the municipality of Brighton in Tasmania. Before I get into the nitty-gritty of it all, I ask you kindly to hit the like and subscribe button, as I've put a lot of effort into the research for this video. Brighton Council is located 20 kilometres northeast of Hobart, or 25 kilometre drive, and is on the eastern side of a beautiful Derwent River, and is part of the Greater Hobart. Within this council there are 9 suburbs. 3 are in rural areas including Dromedary, Honeywood and Tea Tree. The suburbs Bridgewater, Brighton, Gagebrook, Herdsman's Cove and Old Beach are mainly urban, and is where the majority of the population is located. The last suburb, Pontville, is actually in a colonial-era village. The rural areas are home to wineries, cherry growers, and an abundance of other niche produce. This municipality is Tasmania's fastest-growing community, with a population exceeding 17,000, and a population growth rate of 2% per annum compared to an annual growth of 0.9% for the whole of Australia. The population is quite young, with a median age of 31 compared to the state average of 39. It is home to 5 primary schools, 1 high school, a regional trade training facility, an agricultural school and a range of preschooling facilities. Additionally, the University of Tasmania is only a 25-minute drive away. Greenpoint or Cove Hill in Bridgewater is where the key community, commercial and office hubs are located. The industrial region within the municipality of Brighton is used for transport, where one of the major transport interchanges for southern Tasmania is located. This includes freights and logistic facilities and is the southern base for Tasrail. In terms of housing, approximately 70% of the households in Brighton Council are a one-family household, and the majority of the dwellings in Brighton Council are made up of houses rather than units or apartments. Brighton is the epicentre of significant infrastructure investment in the sector of transport, industry, education, housing, sport and recreation. These are the main infrastructure project that is currently happening in the area of Brighton Council. Parkland 2. The parkland to be built in Bridgewater will consist of a very large playground area, amphitheatre, flying fox, picnic area, outdoor basketball court, just to name a few facilities. It is on track to be finished in May. Brighton High School. Although a year late, there's going to be the construction of a new high school within Brighton, which is vital for the continued development of the municipality and the surrounding regions, and provides a place of education for young people in the growing community. Brighton Regional Sports Centre facility. This sports centre, to be constructed at Pontville Park, is set to be completed in mid-May. This facility will cater the needs of local sports clubs for the community to promote sport, and will provide a significant economic boost for the Brighton area.
The Australian and Tasmanian governments have committed $576 million to build a new Bridgewater Bridge. This is the largest ever investment in a transport infrastructure project in Tasmania's history. The new bridge will include 2 lanes of traffic travelling in each direction. And the new bridge will include a 3-metre wide shared path for cyclists and pedestrians. Boats will be able to travel under the new bridge, with the navigation height to match the Bowen Bridge. Building a new Bridgewater Bridge will change the way people travel between the north and south of the state, and improve the connections for traffic travelling on the Lyell Highway towards New Norfolk.
Mona Collaboration. The Museum of Old and New Art, or Mona, is the largest privately funded museum in the Southern Hemisphere. It is located on the other side of the Derwent River of Brighton Municipality. They have collaborated with the Brighton Council to show public installations in Brighton. Now let's look at property prices. Brighton Council has one of the cheapest land in the Greater Hobart region. The average property price in the municipality of Brighton is only $261,000. Though housing affordability is not an issue here, many cannot buy a home due to high unemployment rate, so a lot of people are opting to rent rather than buy. The vacancy rate within this area is only at 0.1%. As a consequence of high demand, the rental yield on properties here is relatively high. And that brings us back to the two suburbs that were selected for this video, Herdsman's Cove and Bridgewater. The average price for a 3-bedroom house in Herdsman's Cove is $280,000, and unfortunately I don't have data for the units. It has a quarterly growth of 1.8% and a yearly growth about 9%. Although there's no rental yield data, a quick calculation from the current properties available on listing through realestate.com shows it is anywhere from 6 to 7%. There's high demand in the suburbs with 3,159 visitations per property, compared with the average of 2,507 for the state of Tasmania. Next we have Bridgewater, which is further north from Herdsman's Cove and away from Hobart. In the past year, we have seen a huge jump of 20.23% on houses, and similar to Herdsman's Cove, there's no data on units nor apartments. The gross rental yield per year is about 6.08% for houses. This is a tabulated summary of all the stats I've given you. Please note, I had to extract data from different sources as not all of it's available to me on CoreLogic, which is a more trustworthy source than realestate.com. Also, there's a lot of data missing for unit prices, and because of this, I have only calculated the yield for houses. I've made a comparison to neighbouring suburbs of Gagebrook, Brighton and Old Beach, which are considered as urban areas of Brighton Council and have similar types of properties situated on similar sized parcels of land. However, Brighton and Old Beach have more modern looking estates without the stark budget bricked houses. This is owing to the fact that Herdsman's Cove, Bridgewater and Gagebrook were designed in the 1970s with the aim to supply people with cheap and affordable public housing. Another positive aspect of both Herdsman's Cove and Bridgewater is that they're both located right next to the picturesque Derwent River. There's relatively low supply at the moment in both suburbs. At the recording of this video, there are 8 properties listed in Bridgewater, whilst in Herdsman's Cove there are only 4. All the houses in Bridgewater and Herdsman's Cove have this shabby, generic budget grey brick look. As mentioned, these used to be mostly housing estates. However, what it lacks in design, it certainly makes up in the surrounding view. Take a look at this house, for example. It has a $1 million view of the Derwent River and Mount Wellington in the distance, but costs only a third of the price tag. Now let's look at the negatives. Brighton's population has experienced relatively strong growth, which is driven up largely by growth in the transport, postal and warehousing, and health, care and social assistance sectors. Despite this, it has one of the highest proportion of people with low socio-economic background, low education attainment, and lower household income than other Greater Hobart regions. This is probably attributed to the fact that it has a low proportion of skilled workers and one of the highest unemployment rates in the state, sitting at 11.9%, which is double than that of the national unemployment rate. It was recorded in 2016 that the average income is $1,341 per week compared to $1,576 per week for Greater Hobart. A lot of the household is facing housing stress, with 35% of the rented dwellings in rental stress and 7.7% of the homeowners with mortgage in mortgage stress. Now, my opinion of the region. Before I start, I should let you know that I'm not a financial advisor. The information in this video is for general information purposes only. I highly recommend you seek financial advice from a professional to double check the information I have provided here is correct. When I look out for potential suburbs to invest in, I look for a few things which are described in my Investing in the Right Location video and based on my strategies, I think this region has great potential. I'm especially impressed with all the infrastructure projects that are going to be completed soon or are in the planning stage. Having a new school, bridge, sport facility and parkland will attract more homeowners to the area. Furthermore, the buildings of these facilities will create jobs in the region. Property prices are so inexpensive that the risk factor for either suburb is low, even with a decrease of 15% in house price. For a house bought around, say for example, $300,000, that is only a loss of $45,000. However, I feel the decrease in price will unlikely happen in the next 2 years. If you are wondering why, please check out my video on house market crash. I also feel if there was going to be a decrease, the decrease will be insignificant and will be absorbed by future growth in population. The high rental yield and vacancy of only 0.1% makes this area extremely attractive to investors. If you compare the property prices of both Herdsman's Cove and Bridgewater to surrounding suburbs such as Brighton, the price has a lot of room for capital growth, even if the houses here are less attractive in design. If the house price increases at the rate it is currently, you can easily renovate the house or knock it down and rebuild from the ground. My first criticism for the region is that there are very little amenities and infrastructure available right now, so it doesn't seem like a great area to live in. Yes, there are projects in the pipeline, but some of these won't be completed for a while yet. Secondly, and this is such a minor point, there's a land tax you have to pay if you are an investor, but if you're buying a property as a primary resident, you are exempt. Most of you know this is different to other states, which you only have to pay land tax after a certain price bracket. However, the price of the land is so cheap, so this doesn't amount to much per year. And tax will only help the state grow as a whole. Thirdly, looking at the listing available on realestate.com, there are hardly any properties available, and data suggests thousands of people are checking out each property. This means if you're going to buy in this area, be ready to be disappointed that you might not get it. In general, I don't have any other negative things to say about the area, but I see the opportunity is in abundance. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed my analysis of Brighton Council and especially Herdsman's Cove and Bridgewater. This video is a little different to what I do normally, and to be honest, I don't know if I will continue on a regular basis. However, if I get 20 likes or 500 watches, whichever comes first, I will do another suburb review. So please like, subscribe and share this video. Anyway, thanks for watching!